Hello, this is June 4th, 2019 is when you should be watching this video. I'm going to go over just a few practice problems from the assignment I gave yesterday because I'm gone today, so I'm going to go over just a few and hopefully that will be enough for you to work on the other problems on the assignment. So we're going to start off by looking at number 4. Alright, I'm choosing number 4 because it is arranged a little differently, okay? We want it to be, the a squared, then the a term, and then we would like to have that blank space, if you recall. Um, so we want to get the a term here, this 4a. I'm going to go a little skinnier. Subtract 4a from both sides, so that will cancel. And we also want to subtract 2 from both sides, so I'm going to try to sneak that in there. Right, and it'll cancel on the left side. All right, so now what is that going to do for us? Well, we'll have a squared minus 4a, and that's all we have on the left side. Now I am anticipating wanting to complete the square, so I'm going to write a plus blank. On the right side, I'll have that negative 2, and whatever I add here, I also have to add to the right side, so I'm going to add a plus blank again. Okay, so now is for the completing the square move. So if you recall, we are focusing on the b term. That's this number right in front of the middle term. So this is negative 4. We take half of that. So half of that is negative 2. And then we square that value. So negative 2 to the power of 2. So that's negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4. Whatever we add on this left side, we also add to the right side. Okay, so now this is something that can be factored, okay? So we can anticipate, and it's going to be the same thing twice. So that's what the completing the square move does for us. All right, so what two numbers multiply to make positive 4, and those same two numbers add to make negative 4? Well, it's negative 2 or minus 2. A shortcut way of getting that number is it's always half of the middle term. Okay, it's half of that term, which in this case is negative 2. Okay, and that's equal to negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. Okay. Now, to continue, we need to get rid of this power of 2. So the opposite of raising something to a power of 2, the way we undo that is by square rooting. So we're going to square root, and we have to do that to both sides. So the square root and the power of 2 cancel, and so we're just left with a minus 2 on the left side, and then we're left with plus or minus, because there's always two things that can be squared to get a certain value, and it stays square root of 2 because square root of 2 doesn't work out nicely. Okay. Now we want to get a by itself, so we add 2 to both sides. That cancels on the left, and we get a is equal to, so that positive 2 we can sneak up in front of the plus or minus symbol, so that'll be a positive 2 plus or minus the square root of 2. All right, and that's how we get our final exact answer. Now we could get an approximate answer. All right, so that would be 2 plus or minus, and the square root of 2 is 1.414, about 1.414. So we would do 2 plus 1.414 and 2 minus 1.414. So that would give us, if we added them, that'd be 3.414. And subtracting, we would get 0.583. 6 about. Okay, so that's from getting the approximate answer. The exact answer is right here. Right, those are exact answers: 2 plus root 2, 2 minus root 2. The approximate answer is are these values. Okay, I'm okay with either one. Some people like to see the approximate answers. Um, if it was a story problem, we might have to approximate the answers because more problems, if it's a real problem, we don't probably want to give it in a 2 plus root 2 format. We'd rather see it in its decimal form. Okay, the other one I'll show you is going to be one of the ones I told you we didn't have to do. So I said we did not have to do 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to show you how to do number 9. Um, so it's already set equal to 0. That's good. So for 8, 9, and 10, that's what you would have to do first. Okay, so 8's already set equal to 0, so is 9. 10, you'll just have to add 7 over first. Now, what we're going to do is we don't like having this coefficient out in front. Because that's not conducive for completing the square. So what we can do first is divide everything by 5, even though it doesn't all divide nicely by 5. Because 17 divided by 5 is not a nice whole number. All right, so we will get now a squared minus 4a plus 2 point, what is that going to be? 2.4, I believe, equals 0. Okay, and now actually we can complete the square as normal. Okay, because um, we couldn't do that before because we couldn't complete the square with the 5 there. So now the 5's gone, we can complete the square. And actually, now that I think about it, I believe that is 3.4. Sorry about that. 3.4. Okay. So now when we are doing completing the square, we want to get rid of that 3.4. That we want that to be our blank space. So subtract that from both sides. And then we will have a squared minus 4a plus blank now equals negative 3.4 plus blank. All right, now we're going to fill in the blank like we normally do. That's going to be half of the negative 4, which is negative 2. Square that, so negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. We're going to add that to both sides. Okay, so this side we can now factor. Remember that shortcut is half of the middle, so that's going to be a negative 2. So a minus 2 equals negative 3.4 plus 4 is positive 0.6. Okay, and now to go on, we must square root both sides. And that leaves us with just a minus 2 on the left. And the square root of 0.6. That I don't believe that will work out nicely. That's going to be an approximate. So now this is where I will use the approximately equal sign. Plus or minus 0.775 approximately. Okay. Now to continue, we will add 2. So now I'm adding 2 to both the positive 0.775 and the negative 0.775. So a could equal 2 plus 0.775 is 2.775 approximately. So yeah, technically this should be an approximately equal sign. Okay. And then if I subtract 2 minus 0.225, a is about equal to 1.225. All right, so our solution set 1.225 comma 2.775. Okay, so it's not too much different than when the extra step is that we just have to divide everything by that leading term after it's been set equal to 0. So set this one equal to 0. I mean, I guess you could do it, divide everything by 4, but you'll get a couple decimal answers. So you could divide everything by 4 first. My suggestion would be, though, add 7 over to both sides first, then divide by 4 and go through the completing the square process. Right? Please have the rest of this assignment complete for tomorrow.